stuff down at least. Okay, this is what I started with. Was the heads out of the way. I started with the wagon, the 63, and he did have the 63, but it was the 4-door, so I figured I'd cut the back of the top off. Then I grafted in the 66 Chevy 2. That was the only roof line that was close. And the scale was right. It was narrow enough, but the 63 almost looked like a convertible top Bose in it. They had those. So it was better. Let me move this guy. I really don't know why he's out there. Let's move him off the page over there. All right. Yeah, fun time with rats. So here's what I was working on. I couldn't find the taillights. The only thing that came with it in the wrapper, and I just cut it just a minute ago, was a bat phone. So we got that. So we got a bat phone if I want to use that, I guess, instead of taillights. Taillights would have been a little bit more convenient. I get some kind of a flaw on it, I guess. And I started putting in I don't have the radiator yet. What is the deal? I know I didn't glue it on. No. It's just that tight of a fit. Yeah, that's pretty slick. It had a little 307 in it, so I whipped them up a small block to put in there because it was a straight 6, and it only had 4 lugs, not 5. But these were the only wheels that I could find that were just like it. Let me get the picture again, just in case there was a couple guys that might not have seen it yet. But this was it in 2005. That's when I flamed it out for him. And that was the front end. Got it all done real nice. It looks a little bit better. His chrome wasn't really bad. I suppose it wasn't the worst thing in the world. Put that there. I guess get this guy out of the way. I got started on this. This I cut the bed out. Cut the bed and the tailgate and used it on what's going to be the purple people eater. No, I just knocked him over. I just painted his eyeball white. I gave him some teeth yesterday. I got the Bondo schlock out because since I use this as the bed and tailgate, of the purple people eater, it had gaps all the way around. It looked really bad. So I glued this in place, used a couple pieces of sprue. Then I used Bondo and squished it from the inside. There we go. Use some Bondo. I squished it from the inside, so when it extruded out and kicked off, all I had to do was run the razor blade back at that angle, and that way it never got rid of any of the detail on the topper itself. I'm thinking I want to make that like a dragster pulling. I've got a little bit more Bondo schlock up there on the front because it left some pretty nasty looking gaps. Let me get him out of the way. I got the Tiki trike, and I'm starting to put him together as probably a dragster, a nice looking dragster with get some wheels going on it. I gotta cook up some wheels and get them together. Probably go with a big Hemi on that. That'll be nice. Then the Tiki trike, And the tiki trike, I figured I would just put a seat on there and then get a skeleton together from the Rommel's rod, even though the ribs are kind of cheap on it. Get a skeleton drive in it, and that way I can trick that out and get some nice candies on there. And so I was working on this, and this yesterday. So I want to get them done, and then maybe this here. I built this as it looks like the axle is about had it. In fact, the whole bed and everything looks like it's warped. But it came like that in the kit. And I used a tree or a sprue, whatever you want to call it. But if I can put these on there as basically the dragster, make it like a drag racing duo, have this pull in it. I saw a hitch laying around one of my boxes, of course, looking through boxes. Looking for the windshield for this yesterday is what brought all that on. Because, yeah, the windshield needed a good windshield to put in it. So that's that. Without the taillights, I guess I can put it on my shelf. Oh, and I did use a permanent marker on the inside of the window. In that way, it looks like the skull and crossbones he had on there. His rear window was not blue, but I don't have a rear window for it, so that's about as far as I'm going to be able to get with it without my taillights. And I didn't see where the dashboard was. In his interior, it had plexiglass that the kid had cut, and the kid that worked on the car and put the engine in it. He had black plexiglass. It was shiny, looked great, but when you're driving the car, Kelly said it would drive him nuts, the vibration of the plexiglass and the two aluminum rails holding them in. He said that vibration was terrible. It looked good. So I've got some cards cut out. These are what I'm going to put on the inside, but I got to spray paint them a gloss black in order to really get them to look like plexiglass. And then I'll glue them into the inside, and then I'll find the dash. But for now I'm going to call it good. Here's the glass that went to the back of this, and it was the top. I was thinking about using it on this and making it into a station wagon, but it's far too narrow and way too short. So that wasn't going to work with a whole bunch of extensive work, and I don't feel like putting it into that. If I'm going to throw some work at something, it's going to be something really cool. So that's what I've got, guys. That's what I've been working on. Yesterday was 4 models. These 3 new ones and this one. And I had a hangnail that was an absolute monster. And it got out of hand, and it was all infected, and the whole thing was a mess. So I've had drawing salve on it last several days, and it's just pink now. There's no pain at all to it. So there's that. Yeah, drawing salve once again pulled out all the infection, and voila, ready to go. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you on the next one. Okay, bye-bye.